Hey everybody, welcome back to Morning Talk with Mike on the MT Homestead channel. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Um, I did in one way and I didn't in another way. But we'll talk about that later, okay? But hey, I put the pin at the top. If you'd like to join me on panel, come on up and we'll talk about anything, everything. Just tell me what kind of coffee you're drinking in the chat, because everybody likes a different kind of coffee. I'm kind of hooked on the Texas pecan with a dash of sweet Italian creamer. I think for me, it just does me right. I know Rebecca, she's never had coffee, and she's in the chat. There's Wendy at Hardneck Farms. There's Tamara over there at Heartland headquarters with Dink and Tank. I don't know which computer to look at because I really hate this Mac. Joe Fix It For You was in here early. Good to see you again. Rebecca Touched by Yarn. Mary Yahoo! I seen her this morning on Husky Edna. They were live, 8-hour live or more. I got out of there when it hit 8 hours because I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning and they were live from Husky Edna lives down in Australia land. And I was on their chat. I was on Daisy's chat this morning. So had a good time on those two channels. Let's see. Paul Honeyman from England. Hello, hello. There's James Hall, y'all. Randy Moore. I think Randy Moore's from Missouri, I believe. Let's see. Lazy Days Ahead. My buddy down there in Houston, actually Pearl Land, isn't it? Texas. He's down there in Houston. A suburb, I guess. Always good to see Jesse. Scrolling. I'm at the bottom now. Got 13 people in here. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Please let me know what kind of coffee you like best. We did get some of that Arizona. What was it called?
AZ48.
AZ48 coffee.
Yeah, and we had the Havasu Falls.
I kind of liked the Havasu.
And there was
the Superstition one.
The other one was Dutchman's.
Or Lost Dutchman, that's what it was. And Lost Dutchman, mine is in the Superstition Mountains. So I guess that's how they get it. It's in the valley of the sun. So I lived in Mesa, and every morning when I got up, I could see Superstition Mountains from our house. Beautiful, beautiful mountain range. So he named it after that. But good coffee, guys. I know Jesse, we showed that on our MT Homestead Live on Wednesday. And I guess Jesse found the link to the coffee. So, and that is our friend over at Greenhorn 1 Acre. That's who has it. Hey, Leanne Gunther, welcome in. Maui Coffee Roasters, but it's a bit pricey. Yeah. Well, you know what? We got bags of coffee and pods of coffee because Terry likes to try different things, and it just stacks up. It's just stacking up. Got a bean grinder, the little pod thing that you can fill up and put it in the pod after you grind it up. So I see PAD Life. Coca-Cola is my coffee. Yeah, I drink 1 cup of coffee while freezing in the field when he was in the Army. Hey, Shirley De La Cruz, welcome in. Good to see you. Eligio De La Cruz, welcome in. So we did a thing, guys. We put out a video. I think it was Saturday evening.
Yeah, we did it.
Saturday evening. So Friday, we've been looking for a travel trailer, guys. And we've gone to a few places, comparing prices, the style. Do we want one with bunks in it? And do we want it with a queen size? We found one that had a king size bed, but I couldn't see coming off that much money. But it had a king size bed in it. But we found the one we liked. Terrie told me on Friday, she goes, hey, I'll buy you breakfast if we'll drive down to Sherman to look at travel trailers. And she was looking online at all these places and stuff like that. Guys, what they put online is not the truth. Terrie told them flat out to their face, you are committing a crime. You are criminal. You put it on here. Okay? But he said, you didn't read that really fine stuff down here that you can't see. I said, Terrie told him straight up, you criminals, liars. So I'm like, oh man, girl, this is a side I haven't seen. We've been married almost 15 years. So August will be, will August be 16 years? Yes, it will. It'll be 16 years. We've been married. I've been happy. I don't know about Terrie, but I've been happy. So anyway, we went down there. She took me to IHOP. Okay. Broke her quote unquote diet, that because if she's on a diet, I'm on a diet. So because she ain't cooking nothing else but the diety food. We like Kaz coffee, Cafe de Ola. Wow, that's a new one for me, Jesse. But anyway, so we go down there. We end up at Camping World. This guy, Jimmy, he's from Kentucky. And he's about as country as the day's long. And he must have showed us 15, 16 travel trailers. From Coleman to Forest River to whatever. Jayco's. And so we're looking through them and everything. Yeah, Terrie's going, yeah, I like this, but I don't like that. Oh, I like this one, but I wish it had this. Like that other trailer. Boom, 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 boom. So we had looked at one in McAllister, and it had a mid-section bathroom. And when they do the midsection, you have a little bit more room in the bathrooms, right? The mid ones. So I think that was in the back of her head. And then we went to this one Forest River one. Well, she walked off. Me and him were looking at things, and she goes, she started looking at trailers, opening up doors and looking in there. And then she came walking over here. And she pointed to this trailer. He goes, yeah. And of course, I'm going, how much, right? And he's telling me, and I'm going, man, that's pretty tight. And so we go over there and look at it. We're in there looking, and I see the midsection bathroom. And Terry turns to me and she says, "This is it." I said, "Yeah, but it's at the very top of our, this is it." So I looked at Jimmy and I go, because I'm a yes man. And I said, "This is it." Do the paperwork up. And so they came in there and it was at one price. And then it went up like $4,000, $4,000 more. And then that's when Terry said, "Whoa, wait a minute. I found this online. You lying SO, you know." And I'm like,
I didn't say that.
I'm looking at her, but you were heated. I could see your face turn red.
To me, it's like bait and switch.
'Cause he
You pull
was-
somebody in.
Exactly. And he's going, "Well, no. You put a price on that." And people will automatically think that's the out the door price. Au contraire. So he goes, I said, "You know what? Screw this. We ain't doing it." Oh, then the finance guy comes in, the manager, and he goes, "How can we make this right?" I said, "You see this price right here at the top? Before you added all this destination and unwrapping fee and whatever, all these things that are down there,
Oh, and they're good Sam's.
they're good Sam's thing.
Yeah.
Um,
The camping, like,
all this stuff that they
Storage.
added in there, like the hitch to your trailer, all this stuff, sway bars." I said, he goes, "How can we make this right with you?" I said, "You see this price right here? I want that price at the very bottom." I said, "I don't give a crap about all this stuff in the middle." "Well, by law, we have to give you the hitch, the proper hitch, blah, blah." Okay, that's fine too. I want that number down here, right? And then I'll throw this a bunch of money on that number and you can finance the rest, right? So they went back and forth. Guess what happened? That price at the bottom ended up at the top, ended at the bottom. We walked out with all that, plus a camping package worth like $2,500. They threw in a Blackstone grill, a fold-out Blackstone table for the grill. They threw in, oh my gosh, extra water filters that you hook up your garden, the hose to, that goes in there from the city water. They threw in all kinds of stuff. It was like a shopping cart that the bottom little rack was boxes down there. The whole cart was filled. It was like this far over the top of the cart. And I rolled it out there and we loaded it up. We brought it home. We did a video on Saturday showing everybody what we did down in Texas. So please go over there and watch that video if you would. And what else did we do?
you got steak
I got steak.
at Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, we did go to Texas Roadhouse. Horrible ribeye. I mean, now I like fat on my meat, okay? But this was like half of the steak was fat. And you're paying for 12 ounces and half of it's fat. I mean, it's like they didn't even trim it, didn't do nothing. So she goes, "Well, how was your?" I said, "The steak sucked." She goes, "Well, I said, "Yeah, all that is fat. I'm not eating it." Because I like it when the fat is charred. It just gives it that really good taste. But this, no. And it was rare. It was not medium rare. and it was like, sawing through rubber. So anyway, so we did that. We had to do something else. What else did we do?
Well, we were supposed to get feed, but we didn't do that.
Oh, we didn't get the chicken feed. Sorry, chickens.
They still got
A little bit in the bucket thing.
feed tomorrow.
But there was something else. Oh, we screwed up. We broke our trailer's awning.
We didn't break it.
Well, what happened was,
What had happened?
is we plugged it into the shop and we turned off the main power because we thought they told us something about resetting the entire system because it's a 12-volt system. Okay, it has 110 plugins that you can use if you're plugged in to city power or on-grid power, but everything else is 12 volts. Everything is 12 volt. The backup camera, which is another story all by itself. Everything on that thing has an app now. The refrigerator, the freezer, the outside refrigerator, the ice maker outside, everything's 12 volts. That's how it's built. So if you get a TV, you can get a 110 TV, which is what we're going to do, because when we go camping, we go fishing and do all this stuff, we're not really worried about watching TV or whatever. But we're going to put a 32-inch TV in there. It's already got the mount on the wall, all that stuff. And we'll plug it into 110. So because we looked at the 12-volt TVs, and they're like the cheapest one we could find was like $399. Has a good rating, not a piece of garbage one. So we're dealing with that, but we tripped the breaker in the shop, went in there, restarted it. It blew the fuse in there, had to run all the way to town, 25 miles to pick up some 15 amp breakers. And we replaced that because the one we did have, Terry dropped in behind.
The one in the camper.
Yeah.
To be specific, not the one in the shop.
Yeah.
It was the one in the
So as soon as we replaced that, awning's working perfect. So we got up and close and personal with the fuse board, or she did. So yeah, everything about it, we love it. And we were looking at one, do we really need a slide out? But then we thought, Terry said, what about the dogs? Because when we go do something, we are always throwing the dogs in the kennel. And everybody brings their dogs and stuff like that. And I don't like taking Freya because Freya loses her mind. She sees somebody new. She thinks they need to pet her.
That's because she's never around it.
Yeah, because we live out in the country and she don't see people. And it just takes a little bit for her to calm down. But we want to take the dogs camping with us. So we said, let's get a slide out and we can just put the doggy beds on the floor because they don't get into stuff. They don't chew stuff or do anything like that. So, well, knock on wood. So that's why we got the slide out and we're absolutely happy with it. So that was our trip to Texas. Hope you, if you watched the video, you enjoy the video. Still nobody wants to come up here and chew the fat with me. Jennifer Ocean Homestead, welcome in.
I thought you were over chewing fat.
I'm over chewing fat, yeah. I fell in love with the new caravan, Big Mike, Paul says. I don't know what the caravan is. Is that like the...
Our trailer. That's what he meant.
Oh, with ours, they call it a caravan. We call a caravan a van. Chrysler made the caravan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they make like a camper van that you can buy. Man, those are expensive. Holy crap. Hey, there is AK Bill. Sorry I'm late. I was watching a friend's video of his new camper purchase. All right. Let me grab the right mouse here. People saying hello to Bill. Yep. Support from Husky Edna. Welcome in. Same with Tom, but I drink his Okie Kid Blend, straight up black. There you go, Wendy. I'd never heard of that. Drink his Okie Kid Blend. Oh, good. Paul says I drink my coffee black, strong, and sugar free.
Tamara likes hers strong and straight.
Strong and straight, like her men.
Yeah.
When you're spending that kind of cash on steak, don't bring me fat back. Exactly, man. Don't trim that. Don't trim it. It's going to be under 12. I mean, we don't. Do you go to a restaurant and weigh your steak? Should. You're probably getting ripped off. Hey, Shadow Scout Swede, welcome in, brother. There's Hiking with Jackie. Boy Kevin's in here. Yeah, thank you, Jesse. Well, I'm going to tell you something about getting a travel trailer. It will test a couple's resolve. And I say that because I don't understand a lot of the technology stuff. So I'm questioning Terrie about that. She didn't like it. She got on my case. Okay. I said, well, I'm just asking the questions because I don't know everything. You can't turn around. Oh, backup camera. And it's all on Terrie's phone because I'm driving. She's going to be looking, okay, keep backing up. Back up till you hear your paycheck. That's what we learned in the Army. But when you pay for something like that, you don't want to back into a tree, right? So, and then there's the app for the entire owner's manual. Is it an app or just takes you to a website that you can thumb through for the owner's manual?
You can download it. It's a PDF file on their website.
Oh, okay. Okay. There is Jerry and Susan, Butler Family Farm. Been up most of the night cooking the pork butt. Oh, for the meetup. Pork butt for the meetup.
I don't know if I'll be there for dinner time, but we'll see. I'll be there all day Saturday.
Yeah, Terrie will be at the meetup all day Saturday.
And see, Paul's down there now.
Oh, is it?
But he said he'd pop in if I left you again. Well, you'd have to be here this weekend, Paul.
Yeah, she's leaving this weekend. She's doing her Missouri trip.
He ain't listening.
Paul?
Yes, I'm here, mate.
Oh, he was looking at something.
Yeah, I was looking at YouTube. No,
So-
what I said was I was putting that out to everybody else I was going to upset Terry by popping up again if nobody else came in.
Oh, yeah. I don't understand why people don't want to come in. It's fun.
It's using the
Hey,
empty
I like that empty Homestead cup. That's right.
It's my first cup of the day.
But people don't know how hard it was to get an unbroken cup to you.
And the thing is, I always thought it was coming from America.
And we did ship it from America the first time, and then all of a sudden someone told her on there, hey, we have a distribution center in England
Yeah.
that does everything for Streamlabs. They have it in England. So they shipped it from England. He finally got him an unbroken mug. So there you go.
Yeah. This one.
So how was your weekend, brother?
It was quiet. Wasn't as exciting as yours.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit more than I really wanted to spend.
It wasn't that.
But happy wife, happy life.
That's a myth.
Well, not with Terry.
That's a myth. Nothing ever makes a wife completely happy. They've always got one thing to complain about.
Oh, that's true. But I can say that about me because I'm an old grumpy old bastard.
Yeah, that's me. But yes, I definitely like the new caravan. I used to do caravanning back in the 80s.
Yeah. Jesse says they've owned their RV for 4 years and have yet to watch TV or video.
Yeah.
In their RV. They've got a bus.
No, let me clarify that if I can, Jesse. The TV inside, you will never watch it because that's for the kids. Your kids have all grown up.
Yeah.
And you can get a transformer that will transform your it's called a converter, sorry, not a transformer. It'll transfer your currency from your car or from the battery into normal is your TV's 110?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you see, ours is 220 over here, but it will convert from 12 volt to 110. So you can just hang a normal TV.
Yeah. When I lived in Germany, what I learned about the 220 is a more reliable current than 110 is. And why we do that, why we have to be a country that does something totally opposite of the rest of the world, I have no idea. You know, why we do pounds and gallons and stuff when all the world uses the metric system. I don't get it. We just got to be different.
Yeah. No, we used to be pounds and all that. It's when Europe started taking off after the war. That's what I mean. It took them 20 years, but that's when we started doing kilos and ounces.
Yeah. Let's see. There's Jesus Girl saying hello, Paul.
Hello, Julie. Terry drives a Jeep as well, doesn't she now?
Yeah, she has a Jeep Cherokee Latitude.
With a tow bar?
No tow bar on hers.
Get that sorted.
I would like to take it in because if you take it into Jeep, the way her bumper is, they would have to saw away part of that plastic bumper so you can have the hitch but if you take it to Jeep, they give you a new wrapping. They'll give you a brand new wrapping for the back of your Jeep that covers your bumper. And then they can they can basically put in a factory Jeep mount, and then she could haul the boat while I pull the travel trailer.
That was my thing.
Vacation. So
Yeah, because mine won't tow that trailer.
oh yeah, yours will never tow that trailer. And I was very surprised. We were in Korea, and at the military PX, the store, we purchased. They have a auto division. I bought a Harley Davidson over there tax free, and I bought the Jeep tax free. But the ones that they had over there was the Jeep Overlander. And I think the Sierra or whatever is the only one on top of that one. And so we bought that one. And just to tell you the difference in the prices, if you bought a brand new Jeep Overlander right now, it's close to $74,000. Okay. And we bought ours in 2019, brand new, for 53. That's how much prices went up during that time frame. So that's crazy.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Drifting Dreamers is here. Hi, Mike and Alyssa.
Hey, Mike and Alyssa.
I don't know if this is Mike or Alyssa, but they said, were you ever in Frankfurt, Germany in 1986? My biological father and my mother's father were stationed there at that time.
Really? I was in Germany in '86. Yeah, in fact I was in '86. Where was I? 86. I was in Stuttgart, Germany. But
You were in Stuttgart in '86.
in '86, I was in. Well, I first went to Germany in December of '79. I got to Germany, landed in Frankfurt, went over to the 21st replacement. They sent me to Kaiserslautern. I got to Kaiserslautern. They sent me to a little remote nuclear site, Craigsfield Army Depot, 558th MP Company.
Oh,
And
the kids.
I was there, and then I stayed there 18 months. Then I went to Mannheim, and then I stayed there 18 months, and then I went to Stuttgart, and then from Stuttgart I went back to Mannheim, and then I went to Virginia, went to Fort Polk after that, and then came back. So yeah, I got back to Germany in May of '86. I got back to Germany in May of '86. I spent 16 years in Germany altogether.
Yeah, I was in Germany in 84, 85, 86 in the army.
But you guys, the Brits were up a little bit farther north in Germany.
Yeah, I was in Minden in just outside
Mendenhall?
no, Hanover.
Oh, in Hanover.
Yeah, I was in Minden.
Oh, in Menden.
So that was Mike, and he said Walter Heron was his grandpa, his mom's dad, and he retired as an E9 sergeant.
E9 Sergeant Major.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't call a sergeant major a sergeant. You call him a sergeant major.
Yeah. No, you call a sergeant major, sir.
No, we don't. Because
We do.
sirs don't work for a living. Sergeants do.
No, that's a difference, you see. A sergeant major is a sir. The only time he works is on the parade ground.
Oh.
He's
So what's
already
going on, brother? The Swedes here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing before we get on to Swede? That lady down in the bottom corner there
Uh-huh.
is anointing me into the Rebecca Hat Club.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, I am.
So I want to say live on air before I even get it. Thank you very much, my dear.
You're welcome. Do you want to see it now?
Yes, please.
I put that
Oh,
together.
that's good. Yep.
This one's a little bit different because look what I'm doing. You can change it either way.
I'm going to have to hide that from my daughter.
Yeah, those are. I like that. Those are good manly colors.
He's about to get another surprise.
And the gray will blend into your gray beard, so people may not know where you're.
Hey, it's not as silver as yours yet, you old fart.
You're about to get another surprise because there's a second one.
Oh, I like that one. I like them both. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good morning from Paris, Arkansas. Yeah. Well, and you guys should know. The good thing is we're not going. I mean, who knows? We might live in it when we finally make the move to go down to Texas. I don't know.
That's why I wanted one bigger.
Huh?
That's why I wanted.
That's why I was
He said that's why she wanted a bigger one, just in case when we move down there, because you don't want to get pressured into buying something, and when you can go shop around when you're down there. Because what else do you got to do when you're retired? So there's Charlene Grady. Oh, and here's another thing. Did you guys see on It's All Grady? Did you guys see that they were on the news twice for something about an escape felon? He used to be a cop and broke out of jail or whatever and was back on the back of their land and stuff. So they've been on the news. I said, holy crap. National news.
I hope they have caught him.
Well, that's kind of creepy. I think they caught him, didn't they?
Still on the loose.
Still on the loose.
Oh my.
So how's the sweet doing?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, actually.
Yeah. How's the weather up there in your neck of the woods?
We had cloudy, but now we had some sunshine, 18 degrees Celsius. So it's a little bit too hot for me.
Yeah. Wow. So in Celsius, you said 30 degrees Celsius?
18
Oh,
degrees
18.
Celsius.
Isn't that like multiplied by what? 3?
It's about 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh man, I would love that. That's my kind of weather. 'Cause right now it's in the 80s, getting into 85 every day now.
It's in the 80s here too.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Well, it's only 63. It's
Hang
only
on.
63 now.
Terry's speaking.
Speaking of temperatures, Perth, Australia. Annette Kemp, she subscribes to a lot of our channels. She has a channel called Our Simplified Home. So if everybody go check that out.
Our Simplified Home.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's doing like decluttering and simplifying her life.
Okay.
So I just wanted to get that. And then she mentioned the temperature there this morning was 30.
And what's her name?
Annette Kemp.
Annette Kemp.
Annie. A lot of people know her.
Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was a news flash, if you didn't recognize that. I have to shut up when Terry talks now.
Right.
People complain that I talk over her. Hey, there's Minty Cactus. She said, man, when are they going to get down to mine? Yeah. There is Drifting Dreamers, a link to them. And if you haven't subscribed to Bayou Back 40, yeah, you're going to enjoy that channel. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I go over there once in a while.
Yeah. Let's see. So anyway, here's some crazy stuff. The sanctuary cities in America, counties and states, have been put on notice. The Department of Homeland Security on Thursday named 500 cities, counties, and states it considered sanctuary jurisdiction, accusing them of obstructing federal immigration enforcement. The move is part of a renewed push by the Trump administration to increase pressure on communities it believes are standing in the way of the president's mass deportation agenda. This list now publicly available on the DHS website identifies jurisdictions deemed non-compliant with federal immigration laws. Each will receive formal notices from the federal government and could face legal action or loss of all federal funding under directives set forth in the recent executive order. This includes over 500 jurisdictions. So I guess they're getting sick of these people and they're cutting off the money train. The federal government says if you don't give up and stop getting in the way of us throwing people out of the country, then you get no money. And if you don't think that the federal government dishes out a lot of money, I know you guys, people have probably seen the whole Doge thing, but on top of all that, the amount of money the federal government gives each state that gets passed down to the cities, they're cutting it off. You get nothing. And you think they're bad now, wait till your city, your county, or your state gets no money. Okay. That means they're not giving you money for your cops, for your teachers, for nothing. Okay. And until the people there straighten up and fly right and put somebody in office that obeys the law or whatever, because I mean, Trump's he's dead fast. He's getting rid of everybody. If he could put 21 million people on a plane, he'd do it. So get ready. More fighting.
I'm not even sure if the city I live in the county, but the city I live in, is it a sanctuary city? I have no idea.
Well, I will tell you, if your city's a college town, it probably is.
It is.
Yeah. ZOU.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's big. So now they're saying we're done. We're done screwing with you. You get no money. So good for them. All right. So that was big in the news. I'm still scrolling down. Okay. Shadows. Hey, what kind of coffee do you drink?
Instant coffee, dark roast.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I remember I used to drink that like gallons of it. I used to go around when people get their MRE meals in the military, your meal in a bag. Hey, are you going to drink your coffee? No, I don't drink coffee. Here, man, I had sacks full of that stuff. And when I was on guard duty, when I was a private, I said, man, I can't stay awake. I can't stay awake. And he goes, here. And it was Nescafe back then. You just tear the top off, open it up, put it in your mouth straight, no water. Yeah, dude, that will wake you up.
That's one of our.
Now, this is our camping coffee. We still have a box of it left. Or did we buy these at the Korean store? And
Okay.
it's called Maxim. And what it is, this is a cup of coffee right here, and it's got the sugar, creamer, and coffee all in one stick.
Ah,
So when you're camping, that's why we take this camping with us.
yeah. That's a good idea.
I mean, they do make them where it's just black coffee. If that's all you want. They have them if it's just you want creamer in it, or you just want coffee and sugar in it. They make different color represents a different kind of coffee. And that one's got 100 sticks in it, so that's going in the new camper, the
Yeah.
travel trailer, or the caravan, if you will. I just don't want to offend Paul. Man, I didn't know I was that far behind.
Mike, you're always behind when it comes to these chats.
Oh, I know.
And I'm surprised Terry's not giving you a harder time for it. Like
No.
you used to do every Wednesday night.
I do.
Because Terry reads every single thing.
Yep.
Well, she went-
Hohenfeld, Germany. Been there many a times. I can't tell you how many times I've been to Hohenfeld.
I think Terry wants to just make everybody feel appreciated.
Oh, she does. That's why she does that. Yeah, Hohenfeld, Germany. When I was in Germany, I can tell you I've been to Hohenfeld at least 16 times, because in Germany, when you go to gunnery, you go to Grafenwehr, Germany for gunnery to shoot all your tanks, your aircraft, all that stuff. You do that in Grafenwehr. And then once you're done with that, 45 days, so the whole division can shoot everything. Then you road march in convoy all the way to Hohenfeld, and then you spend another 45 days force-on-force training down in Hohenfeld. So I did that 16 times when I was in Europe. So, yeah. And we always, for some reason, I don't know why, we always did it getting into the late fall. I hated that time of the year. But then if you go there in the summertime, it's just hotter than snot, you know? It's bad.
It can't be hot in my snot because it's running as hell as at the minute.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It's just muggy and hot. And people don't think of Germany as being, you know, muggy and hot, but it's humid and hot.
I definitely didn't know that.
Hey, there she is. Daisy's in here. Welcome in.
I got a suntan in Germany in 3 days.
Yeah. Oh, did you go onto the nude beaches?
No, I went to the local swimming pool.
Oh, okay.
We had there was 14 pools in the local swimming pool. It was the first time I went off the 30-meter board.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop going off it after that.
See, in Germany, they have the Schwimmbaden, and they have
or the Melita Baden.
Yeah, you have the normal swim side, and then you have the nudist side of the area inside the complex. And then, around the lakes, like I used to live in a town called Lamsheim, Germany, and they have a lake there. But if you're nude, they have like these signs that on this side of the lake is you can sunbathe nude, and you can't on this side because whatever. And
they've got them all over Germany.
I just, you know, being a good guest of a country, I used to walk the shoreline just to make sure everything was safe.
You mean you were going around ogling everything that was available?
I was just making sure everybody was happy and, you know.
No, you were making sure your eyesight was working.
Exactly. Now it's failing.
That's because of what you were doing when it was working.
Now, in Sweden, do they have nude beaches in Sweden?
Yeah, but there are few.
Few now. Oh, really?
Yeah, I know we have a few, not that many.
They come down on the nude sunbathing in Sweden because the Brits were going over there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like at the big lakes and stuff like that, they, I know, like in Missouri, you go to Lake of the Ozarks, they have a place called Party Cove where all the boats and they lash them together and it's like a big party scene and stuff like that. The women don't get they don't get in trouble and they're walking around with no tops on because it's not against the law. That's just the way it is. But you can't go full naked. Then you're breaking the law. So, and I don't know what it is between Europeans and Americans about the whole topless nudity thing. I mean, it kind of makes us sound like we're really prudish over here.
You are. Unless
Because-
it's on a porn channel, you're real prudes.
Because I know that for when I was over there the first time and I was watching German TV, and all of a sudden they used to have they would do something like show like movies or programs, and then they'd stop, and for the next 2 hours it was nothing but commercials. And if they were doing a shampoo commercial, they would show whoever, male or female, naked in the shower using the shampoo product and stuff like that. Or if it's a thing about a bra commercial, all of a sudden you go, whoa, there's a lady on there, she's just trying it on and all that stuff, where we would never do something like that in the States. But kids, everybody grows up and it just becomes normal. Here, we're really prudish to the fact that we're not a society that's open like that, but most of Europe is like that, or all of Europe is. So it's kind of different. I mean, you got 220, we got 110. You got the metric system, we got pounds and gallons, the standard system, whatever. It's like everything we do over here has to be the opposite of the rest of the world. And it's crazy.
And we drive on the correct side of the road, and you drive on the right side.
And you guys drive on the wrong side of the road.
No, the correct side.
Well, you're the only country in Europe that drives on the wrong side.
No,
South Africa.
Well, they're
And
not part of
Australia.
Europe. They're not part of Europe.
No.
but Islanders.
Yeah, you're an
Yeah.
islander.
Okay, Europe.
Because you guys don't drive on the right side of the road up there in Sweden.
We drive on right side, not left.
Yeah.
We drove on the left side in the 40s until the 60s. At the end of the 60s, we changed to the right side.
Do you know why Europe drives on the right side, Mike?
Because we're right.
No. Do you know why Europe drives on the right side of the road?
Why?
Because of the vehicles that were left over after the war. World War II.
Because of the steering column.
Yeah.
That's what they did in Korea too. Korea went to that because everybody learned how to drive on military vehicles that were supporting the war over in Korea.
That's why they drive on the right. It doesn't mean they're correct. It just means they're on the right.
I will tell you that we went to Hong Kong, and number one, that many cars in that small of a place is insane. Okay. Because really, Hong Kong is built on a cove. It's like a big horseshoe, and it's just they just built everything right there. The Hong Kong markets, everything is just, and it is. I thought Seoul, Korea was crowded. Hong Kong is crowded. It's crazy. And here's another thing. We went to Hong Kong. We went to Macau, the island of Macau, and then we took the boat over, and we went to Disneyland in Hong Kong. And I don't know, and it's probably because all the people are smaller people, but we went to Disneyland Hong Kong, and they had some kind of space roller coaster. And I waited in line for 2.5 hours to ride this thing. I get all the way up there, right? I get all the way up there, and the lady goes like this. And I know from being in Korea, that means you're restricted or you can't come in or whatever. That's what they use over there. And I said, whoa. I've been in line, right, for 2.5 hours. And their people are coming through there and doing everything. And they're looking over the crowd, the security and stuff like that. They said, well, come over here. If you can sit in this demo cart, then you can get on there. Dude, I got my legs in there and I tried to go down where the headrest was my butt. I could not get down in this car. She goes, that's why you can't do it. I said, couldn't your security people say, hey, you 6'4", 300 pounds, you ain't going on this road? Well, that's not their job.
Why don't they put it at the entrance?
If you should have a sign. They should have a sign. If you're a big, fat, tall dude, don't even get in line. Well, guess what? The only ride I could fit on was the choo-choo train going around the park. That was it. The choo-choo train. That's all I could ride on.
You wouldn't be able to ride one of those over here.
Oh, my gosh.
They're for kids.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, it's a choo-choo train. It's the Disney train that goes around the park.
It's not
And
Yeah, they're for kids over here.
Yeah. But my Big Mike goes all the way to Hong Kong to ride the choo-choo train. And a $9 hamburger and fries.
You should have gone to Japan and ridden a bullet instead.
Yeah. But the funnest part was taking the ferry across from Macau to Hong Kong, because you get to see the entire city. And then, of course, we got on the bus ride. It's one of those city tours thing. And as soon as I seen Hooters chicken place, man, I got it. Terry goes, where are you going? She looked at it. She goes, oh, Hooters. Yeah, we're going into Hooters. Now, I will tell you that they broke the mold over there. I don't think they should actually call it Hooters over there.
Yeah, kind of bait and switch there.
Kind of a bait and switch type thing in Asia. Yeah. Anyway,
Has Terry still got a uniform?
Terry still has her uniform, yes.
Yeah.
That's how she was paying her way through college.
She's going to eat you in that frying pan in a minute.
Oh, wait. That was Big Daddy. That was a movie. I'm sorry. I get Terry mixed up with trying to mix Hooters and Terry and all that together.
I was wondering if that statement down there is for me, Jamie.
I'm thinking that's what it was for.
I'm asking her, and I don't have chat popped up on my phone.
Hey, there's the bud files. So
But-
Jamie at her works Littlefield, was that hat thing for the grandbaby?
Right? Can I clear something up? Jamie, it's not a grandson, it's going to be a granddaughter. We didn't know what it was. I said I was going to have a grandchild. And 2 weeks ago, on Sunday, 2 weeks ago, we found out she's going to be a little girl. I didn't tell everybody, I thought, because I put it out on a blast.
Okay, I don't know if he's talking to Mike at DD5 or me, but you're more than welcome to come to our house. Oh, wait, Troy did go to Mike at DD5's when they were coming for the meetup. So you might be talking to Mike. Hey, there's Ed Kirkpatrick.
There's Ginger Snaps.
Ginger Snap.
This is one I'm working on for somebody. This is Faith's little girl's blanket that I'm working on.
That's nice.
Yeah, I will tell you that the Korean coffee does taste better than that Korean candy. What was that? That jackfruit candy?
Oh, that was from
Oh,
yeah,
the Koreans eat it.
the durian fruit.
The durian fruit. Guys, that's god awful. Don't even try that. I almost threw up.
Hey, there's Heard That Outdoors.
Heard That Outdoors. Speaking of Heard That Outdoors, I've been having the Ozark YouTube meetup at Lake Palm Terra, which is this weekend, the 6th through the 8th, rolling at the bottom. And then we have got, in October, we've got Pinecone Fest that we're going to, and we're going to be taking our trailer down there. I'm kind of excited about that.
That'll be a good test run.
Well, we're going down on Lake Texoma once Terry gets back from her little trip to Missouri. She's gonna go to the meetup, gonna go visit her Uncle Tom up in Columbia, and then go down and see her mom down in by Fort Leonard Wood. She's gonna do the big horseshoe and then come back home. Well, she may call me and say, "Hey, do you mind if I stay?" Yeah, do whatever you want. I'm farm setting for Terry.
I won't be staying because I gotta get a hotel room. So.
No, you're homestead setting.
Hey, there's Roadkill Ron. I finally got down to Roadkill Ron. He's probably gone on me. Take me so damn long because I start talking and forget about the chat. That's what I like about Cherry. She does not leave the chat.
No, that's Wednesdays. Terry keeps up with the chat and you just chat.
Yeah, and this shows you that I need adult supervision. So here's something. Hey, you may not know this. Los Angeles, 36 Chinese and Taiwanese nationals arrested after an ICE raid, immigration enforcement, underground nightclub in Los Angeles. They're in the underground, some private secret club, and they took 36 Chinese and Taiwanese nationals out of there. So they didn't give the name of the nightclub, but they did. Everybody got detained and were, I guess, taken away. And they're going to be deported back to their home of origin. So that was big because they just had one in Colorado Springs, and it was a underground nightclub, and it was illegal immigrants from Mexico and some other places. But they took out quite a few out of that one. They emptied the club up and started their deportation on them. So here's a question I have for you, Swede.
Okay.
Since you're up in Sweden, Is it, wait a minute, is it Finland, Norway, and then Sweden? Or is it Finland,
It's
Norway?
Finland, Sweden, Norway.
So you guys are closest to Russian border up north, right?
Yeah.
So what's the talk over there? And I want to know how the people took it when you guys went into NATO.
Well, let's say the Russians has moved more troops to the Finnish border.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, we have, I believe, 500 soldiers in Estonia now.
Yeah.
So let's say Russians are not happy that we are in NATO.
Yeah, I would think so too. But hey, the good thing is I don't think, and everybody talked up the Russian military all through the Cold War years, through the Reagan years, all that stuff, about, superpower. But I will tell you that my view about the Russian superpower thing went away real quick when the Ukraine gave them a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That right there, I mean, tells me that they're not what they kind of portrayed. And I know the people in Russia, I've watched many a news thing that got leaked out of Russia. The people are not happy. The Russian people, they ain't happy.
No, they are not.
I mean,
We
because
heard the same thing here. The Russian people are really pissed off.
they're pissed off.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, you know what? They should be, because this is one man's war. And
Yeah, the
now
people
they're
didn't
taking
want this.
everybody. I think, what are they doing? They're putting them on, they're offering them contracts to join the military and promising them so many rubles for joining. And if something happens to you, your family will get this. And the families aren't getting nothing.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
900,000 people over this thing has lost their lives. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So
The latest news I heard from Russia and their financial status
yeah,
is that if they keep going, they will be bankrupt next year.
yeah.
They can't afford it anymore. They will lose the war.
Theoretically,
Because-
the ruble's worth budkiss. It's not worth nothing. And I know that they did have a couple of countries that were trying to combine and make one currency.
Yeah.
I guess the axis of evil, those countries were trying to, and hell, they couldn't even get along to decide on that. Yeah. It was kind of like when you guys went to the Euro and England was in there. Oh, yeah, we got to do this. And as soon as it went to the Euro, England said, well, wait a minute. We're not going to join this madhouse. The pound's too strong. So we're not going to be joining that. I said, good move. Now, countries whose money weren't worth crap, like Italy, when you go in there and they said, oh, that for a cheeseburger, that'll be 40,000 lira. And you're a tourist and you go, 40,000? And then you come to find out it was like $6, but their money wasn't really worth anything anywhere else in Europe. didn't want it. The strong one on the mainland was either the Deutschmark or the franc. Was the two big ones on the mainland, and of course the pound was above all them by a lot. So yeah, it was when they went to the euro. There was a lot of countries that benefited it, and there was a lot of countries that did not benefit by it. You know, Paul,
Yes, I'm here.
you got anything to say about that?
I loved it in Germany when I was there because it was £1 was 4 marks.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah,
So
I remember back in, I think it was 82 or 83. I was in Stuttgart, and I was at Panzer Kaserne, and I think it was 3 mark 96 to the dollar. 3 mark 96 to the dollar.
Yeah.
And man, soldiers didn't want to leave Germany. Then it hit four marks a year later, and soldiers didn't. They were re-enlisting to stay there because
Yeah.
they could take a soldier's pay, turn it all into Deutschmarks, and live high off the hog because you were tripling your money using it in Germany.
Yeah.
So yeah, and when I came in early 1979, I was making $397 every 2 weeks. That was my base pay. So I was making $800 a month. That was my base pay. And then I would go out partying with the guys after we get paid. I'd be broke before the 15th because I got paid twice a month. And I was broke. And hey, if you lend me $20, I'll give you 40 back on payday. So I was already borrowing off money I didn't even have. And thank God for a meal card to go into the mess and a place to sleep, or else, yeah, I'd have been starving.
You had to pay for your own meals in the mess.
No, you get a card. The company that you're assigned to gives you a card. You just show that, sign in, and you get to eat.
You don't know crap like that.
If you don't have a card, that means they put you on a thing called separate rations. And the value of the meals you would get in your paycheck. And then those are for people that live with families off post and stuff like that. But when you live in the barracks, you get a meal card and a place to sleep. So you get 3 hots and a cot. So you're good to go. Yep. Let me see if there's heard that. Outdoors is here, Randy.
I told him you might get to his comment eventually.
I'll get to it sooner or later. At least Terrie's talking to people.
Terrie may as well just come on camera.
No, you don't want to see her. She's a hot mess right now.
She's always hot.
Yes. She looks like she just rolled out of bed.
Yep.
She's got the whole spider web hairdo, all that stuff.
So Terrie looks like Medusa.
Yeah, there you go. Hey,
Terrie, I would hit him for you. As big as he is.
Yep. That's where Terrie's from. She used to live right outside Fort Lost in the woods in Waynesville. Did you ever live in St. Robert? Well, you did for a while, didn't you? Your family did. across from the BP station over in that area? Okay.
Texas Road, down where my uncle had his place.
Yeah.
That was my grandparents.
Oh, okay.
And we lived next door.
All right. Good Lord. Man, I was really backlogged.
No, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were 3 weeks behind.
Let's see. What else do I got that's good? Hey, Ukraine destroys dozens of Russian warplanes with drone attack deep inside of Russia. Ukrainian forces destroyed dozens of Russian warplanes with a drone attack on air bases deep within Russian territory on Sunday. Ukrainian forces destroyed 40 aircraft in the attack, which an official says was was planned for more than a year. Russia's defense minister confirmed the attack on Sunday, saying it struck 5 airfields. The operation saw drones transported in containers carried by trucks deep into Russian territory. He said the drones reportedly hit 40 airplanes stationed at several air bases, including A-50s, Tu-95s, Tu-22s. Aircraft were destroyed, so they destroyed the bombers. And it was orchestrated by the president himself. So there you go. They trucked them in there secretly, opened them up with the and took out to start taking the stuff out. And that's what scares me, because we didn't have these little drones when I was in the military. Now, if you watch the videos, that's the number one fear of soldiers is those dang little attack drones. That's some crazy stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
You hear something buzzing and it's got a grenade hook to it, dude, and you see them, they take their rifle, they're trying to shoot it down first, and then they're trying to swat it like a fly, and then it just drops their grenade and say, we're tired of this. And they're like, it's kind of weird, because it's like they're playing with these people. And then the North Koreans came over and they were frightened of them. That scared the bejesus out of the Koreans that went over there with Russia.
What Ukraine's doing with the drones now, it's basically what the Americans have been doing for years on a smaller version.
Yeah. Yeah.
On a cheaper version.
Exactly, because they were shooting those HIMARS, and those HIMARS is like a freaking $1 million a pop.
Yeah,
a freaking drone's like less than $2,000, and then they're making stuff with 3D printers to attach to the drone to hold grenades and mortars and all kinds of stuff. And they really like that white phosphorus grenades, because once it hits, it just starts burning and melting stuff.
Yeah. The thing about our phosphorus stuff is it'll burn through just about anything.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if people out there remember the team, the Seattle Supersonics. Okay. Seattle had an NBA team named the Supersonics, and they moved the team from Seattle to Oklahoma City, where they reestablished them as Oklahoma City Thunder. Well, there was a player on the Supersonics, was probably one of my favorite players ever in the NBA. He was a power forward. His name was Sean Kemp. And he used to just destroy people. He was like a bull in a china shop. Well, Sean Kemp, who spent a majority of his NBA career with the Seattle Supersonics, entered a plea of guilty in 2023 for a shooting outside a Tacoma Mall in Washington State. The Pierce County prosecuting attorney confirmed that Kemp admitted to second-degree assault in the incident. Six-time NBA All-Star initially faced charges for first-degree assault with a firearm. Prosecutors later tacked on a second count of first-degree assault and a charge of drive-by shooting. If he had been convicted on the original charge, the 55-year-old could have been up against a considerably longer prison sentence. Tacoma police received a call stating shots were fired from a passing by vehicle in the parking lot of the Tacoma Mall in March of 2023. So now in 2025, it finally goes to court that many years later. The former NBA center reportedly claimed property was stolen by him. Someone broke into his car. He seen him with it, so he thought it was cool to drive by there and shoot at the guy so he could get his property back. And he was mistaken. He was later arrested. Sentencing now for Kemp is scheduled for August. So the shooting happened in, what was it, March of 23. He goes to court in April or May of 2025, and now he's waiting to be sentenced to jail or probation or whatever in August. I think it takes way too much time for people, they say, well, you didn't have due process. But then after you do the arraignment and everything, because that's the due process, but then they take almost 2 years to prosecute you or to go to court, costing taxpayers millions of dollars. So, and with that said, I'm going to tell you that the two teams for the 2025 NBA Finals have been set. Indiana Pacers squaring off with the Oklahoma Thunder for the NBA Finals championship. So
Who cares?
Well, it's kind of cool. I don't watch a lot of NBA, but I've been checking on these two teams because I like the in the WNBA. I watched Indiana Fever, so I really like that. I like how those girls fight. But yeah, and that's my news for today. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe or subscribe to anybody that's on panel here.
Except that one.
Now, the Swede's got a good channel.
The Swede's got a good.
I'm not pointing at the Swede.
Yeah,
I'm pointing at myself.
You need to put your booger finger down. Every time you point at somebody, there's three fingers pointing back.
I could see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my point exactly. I'm pointing at myself.
yeah. And then in
I do
Italian,
not need subscribers.
Fanculo. But anyway, guys, hey, remember, be kind to one another, help somebody in need, and always think of that, guys.
Mike,
I'm getting ready to be a bachelor. Terry's taking off. So if anybody wants to come to the
have you
homestead,
seen what you've done? I just picked up
now's the
another
time.
one. Have you
Now's
seen
the
what you've done?
But if you come to the homestead, you have to bring somebody that cooks. That's the only reason I'm inviting you to our house, because Terry's leaving. I can't cook, and I need somebody to cook. So if you want to come here, we can go outside and have some
You
fun.
were a soldier.
I know how to eat. That's what they trained us to do.
We were taught how to cook for ourselves.
I don't eat MREs no more.
I don't eat MREs.
I know, but you don't have a wife.
I've had two. And I did the cooking. I still did the cooking.
I know. See, you did not train your dragon correctly.
Oh, Terry, get that skillet.
Shh, she's in the bathroom.
Ah. She'd have to be for that one. You're in trouble.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow.
No, my mother
overcome. You got to simplify your life and adapt and overcome.
Yeah, my mother taught all her children to cook.
I treat Terry like a queen. Number one, because she deserves it. Number two, she fills my belly.
And she must be back in hearing age again.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
good. Except when she goes on these diet kicks or these new things. When we went on keto, because if Terry goes on a diet, that means Big Mike is on a diet. But I cheat like a dog on a diet when she's not around, and I see like the golden arches, or I'm stopping. When she puts me on those keto diets and crap like that, no. Now, you can't be playing on my emotions like that.
it's not your emotions she's playing on. She's trying to keep you around as long as she is.
She's saying I can go to her place and work for my food.
Nobody wants you working at their place, Mike. We've seen your DIY skills.
You have a great week there, Chrissy. Tell Keith hello for us. All right, guys. So that's it for today. We were here every Monday and Friday, 8:30 a.m. for Morning Talk with Mike's. I go live on Tuesday with Sergeant's Talk TV with my battle buddy, my Marine buddy, Jason over at White Rock, talking to our veterans. This week, we're going to be talking about a scandal in the Department of Veterans Affairs in Puerto Rico. So you guys need to stop in for that one, get all the facts that we've gathered on there, and see what that big scandal is. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a very blessed week. See you on Friday. See you on Tuesday. See you on Wednesday for MT Homestead live at 8 p.m. So, guys, Paul, you got anything to say now?
Yeah, I can't wait for Wednesday because then we get to see the better half.
That is true. That is true. She don't leave until, I think she's leaving out of here Saturday morning or Friday evening or something like that. So, anyway, guys, have a blessed time. God bless you. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Stay safe, everyone.
All right.
Take care, guys.
What is all this garbage? What the hell? Install tonight. Okay. Come on. Come on. Good Lord. What's wrong with this thing?